So, the month of May has came and went, thankfully, because we're enjoying beautiful weather in June here, and it's time to celebrate the big performances from the month of May. We have the Player of the Month program coming yet again with some insane lightning cards. We're going to talk about how I think it's going to go down here. Leave a like down below, subscribe to the channel. Let's go ahead and get into it. All right, so as always, I went ahead and did sketches of cards that I think are gonna come in, and you guys let me know what cards look like they would be just godly in the game of MLB The Show. Of course, there is a couple contingencies we'll talk about with guys already having good cards, and we'll address that as it comes. But here, Christopher Morel. I was watching this game against the Twins. It was on Mother's Day. He hit maybe the biggest home run I've ever seen at Target Field. He had a great month. And somehow the guy's 145 pounds at 5'11". I feel like if you blew on him, he might just blow away. How the hell does this man hit 470-foot bombs? But he had a pretty good month. Now, his value really comes from the positional versatility, that he can play middle infield, the whole outfield, with great arm strength maxed out, and pretty good speed there as well. Contact, little rough against lefties. He looked like a Javier Baez, kind of a throwback for the Cubs in the month of May. And that vision, that clutch, that discipline is going to reflect that, but he absolutely deserves a card, and I think there's a place for him. He would be pretty fun to have. We have Alex Lang here for the Tigres, who is a monster in Battle Royale, and I'd love for him to actually get a card in the game here. He was 7 for 7 on save opportunities. I believe he won Reliever of the Month for the American League. He throws a four-seam at good old 98, the sinker, knuckle curve, and a circle changeup, and he should have really good per-nines as well. Maxed out clutch. He's been very effective when runners get on, which is kind of rare because he really relinquished the hits. He struck out a lot of batters. He was just fantastic in the month of May. Next up, we've got...
I'm Ozuna from the Braves.
This would be an interesting card. You know, for all the shit that Ozuna's been endured, which deservingly so from media, from online and that. He had a really good month of May, nearly a 1,000 OPS, which I think is going to bring up his season numbers to about 700 OPS. This is an absolute DH card. No way in hell are you going to get away with using this card. Yankee Stadium, play him against the short porch. He's still going to get dogged like barbecue chicken, as Shaq likes to say out there. But he is absolutely going to bruise up, just beat down lefties, which... you know, that's what Ozuna's best at, really. Could be an interesting card. We'll see if they do give it to him. Next up, we've got Mitch Keller. He was supercharged for seemingly ages, but for good reason. And I welcome him getting a full fleshed out, like 95, 97. We don't know what overalls these are going to be for sure. Last time out, we got a pack of 95s, a pack of 97s, a couple 98s, and then the Lightning, the big boys, 99. So, Mitch Keller, good mix. He's got a four-seam, a sinker, pretty meta 5-pitch repertoire. And then I gave him triple digits on all hit K and BB9. He's very well balanced for the month of May, and I think he would translate really well to a high diamond, and people would actually want to use this card. It's the biggest thing. You know, you want to give guys who had a good month, but also give guys, especially pitchers, because it's a little bit more difficult, guys that are going to be effective in the game. Nate Eovaldi here for the Rangers. He has been shoving, and he had another good start yesterday. The Rangers are on a roll as of late. We'll see how long that lasts, but clock is ticking. Seattle, Houston, Angels, do we count them as a competition? Rangers are kind of pulling away with the division. Nate Eovaldi's going to have a hot four-seamer. If they really wanted to, maybe give him outlier. I doubt it, though, but he's got the splitter. He's got the cutter. He's got a couple breaking balls. 5 pitches, not the craziest. No sinker in there. But with the per nines, I think he'd be effective. I think he'd have really good hit per nine and BB 9 as well. Good command of the strike zone. That's the name of the game in the... of MLB 23 this year. If you don't throw strikes, it'll be hard to be good. Next up, Lance Thomas for the Washington Nationals. I went ahead and checked as I was making this video. He is the highest rated live series card for the Nationals. At 76 overall, he leads the team. One of the 2 silvers that they have in their live series collection right there. Excellent job. 117, 121. He cracked out against lefties, you know, just like Ozuna. But unlike Ozuna, Lance can run. He can't really field either, but this could be a fun little card. I think this is like the perfect 95 overall that they could give us, kind of like that Jack Sawinski. Maybe they even nerf his versus righties a little bit, so he's just a lefty killer with some good speed off the bench. Lance Thomas could be a fun little name right there for sure. And also kind of flesh out that Nationals theme team, which definitely needs some help. Here is probably one of the most excited cards I am for, because I think he would be just outlandish in the game. I gave him 118, 106 contact, and if they wanted to give him a 98 overall, I kind of built this as like a 97-ish. You go even higher, but he'd be like the Steven Kwan or the Tony Gwynn with pop, like 89 power, is good enough to actually hit some home runs. You know, he's going to have maxed out vision. He struck out less than 10% of his at-bats. Insanely clutch for the Red Sox as well. Pretty good fielding on his live series, so I just boosted it up a little bit more into gold threshold. 74 speed. Who is not, you know, just going to be stroking with this Yoshida right here? I'm super excited. I feel like this is a pretty sure bet that he's going to get a card too, so I'm pumped. We got Michael Wacha. He was the pitcher of the month for the National League, Evaldi for the American League. And, you know, much like Evaldi, he leaves something to be desired when it comes to pitch mix, but with a lot less velocity too. The cutter at 90 miles an hour, four seam. His live series tops out at 93. I sugar-coated it as much as I could to get it up to 95, but he had a pretty good per nines for sure. Limited walks, a very good bit for the Padres there. Limited hits exceptionally well. I think had the lowest whip, or one of the lowest whips across all qualified pitchers in the month of May. He could be interesting. I gotta see if they have the balls, SDS, to actually change that two-seam to a sinker. We saw him do it with Craig Kimbrell. You know, why not do it to Michael? You know, it's San Diego after all. Shouldn't you guys be biased towards them? We got Spencer Steer for the Cincinnati Reds right here. Again, another righty that is going to be much better against lefties than righties. Noticing a common theme here, but it'd be a fun card. You know, holds his own against righties. I gave him 92, 88 splits. Vision at nearly 100. He didn't strike out too much. The fielding respectable, unlike a lot of the guys. Now, of course, there is some lefties that could be getting cards, but the problem is they fall into that line if they already have a good one. The thing about this year, though, is since it's run on sets and seasons, you know, this Juan Soto card was out day 1. And in about 30 days' time, Season 3 is going to come, and this Set 1 card is basically going to be obsolete for most online play and most purposes. It's a chance that they could kind of give a refresher, give us a new Juan Soto. Another guy out there, Anthony Santander, had a very good month of May. He's got this 97 overall card. Luis Robert, Jorge Soler, Salvador Perez. It's interesting to see what they're going to do with some of these. I wouldn't be shocked at all if a couple of these guys did get a Set 3 card. So then they're good. Like, there's always going to be a really nice Juan Soto, Anthony Santander in the game. We'll have to see how they make that work. But here's one that'd be fun. Lourdes Gurriel Jr., Blue Jays. I bet you're really fond of that trade right there. Varsho, not quite playing up to Gurriel's standards. And Lourdes has been, honestly, like the best of his career. I still can't stand the Abraham Lincoln. If you have a beard, add the mustache. It just looks weird. Well, those stats don't look weird. They look quite erotic, may I say. 114, 122 contact. Had one of the best batting averages across MLB for the month. He was really good. I think had like a 420 ISO against righties, but only like a 160, 170. Isolated power, meaning they deduct the singles. They only look at doubles, triples, and home runs to decide how much raw power you have. It's the best attribute. He's got versatility too. Not well. I mean, he can play these spots, but you're going to be making some errors for sure. But kind of just throw him away at second base, hope for the best, cross your fingers, and, you know, hope that the offense makes up for it, because the clutch, vision, across the board, this card would fucking bang. Let's get it. We got Brian De La Cruz for the Marlins. Another good contact guy, more well-balanced than a lot of these here. Not very good fielding. I don't think we've seen one solid defensive card yet that will change, I might say. But De La Cruz definitely deserves it. Had like a cool 930 OPS on the month, and sounds like a definitive 95 overall pack to kind of kick off the program early on there. We got JD Martinez. Red Sox made an interesting swapping, losing JD Martinez and adding Justin Turner. Hard to say who got the better end of the stick there of the 35-plus-year-old veteran right-handed sluggers. JD would be pretty damn fun. And thank God for the DH, because last year, this card would have been like melatonin. Make you go to sleep. You see that fielding, you're out. You don't give a shit. But this year, you can just stick him on the DH and just rely on the bat, and it's going to be great because he's always had one of those really good right-handed swings. Still got a couple good quirks that helps him out too, and just very well-rounded clutch through the roof as well. JD, I think, would be a banger of an option if they do give him a POTM card right there. We got Framber Valdez, who bewildered me to say the least that he was not diamond after this last roster update. I'm not sure how that slipped through the cracks there, but regardless, he would not slip through the cracks on teams. Sinker cutter combo with a huge velocity differential on that cutter. 84 compared to a 96 four seam and a 95 sinker. Are you kidding me? Framber's always gotten good cards in the game. He's got a little funky motion, and he's just very well-rounded again. He throws with some velocity, but also has good BB9, so he's going to be very much so around the strike zone, and 100-plus hit 9 to boot is going to make him crazy. It'd be so good. Would be a excellent free option for a lot of people's rotations. Next up, here we go. We got the Lightning candidates. Personally, I'm going to say candidate, but to entertain the audience, we'll talk about two here. Freddie Freeman. He's got a 97 overall card of the game. He had an outstanding month. He hit 400 in May, but he still lost the OPS league by about 200 points. He's going to have like maxed out contact if he were to get a Lightning card. This card would look really good. Fielding and speed, I boosted up a little bit. He stole 4 bases in the month. Congratulations, Freddie. Even some power against lefties, 110, really showing off the strength. This would be a fun-ass card. The problem is it's kind of in a deep position. I know there's already 3 people who commented, yeah, I got Murakami, who gives a shit. Show me Aaron Judge. He's back. You know, he got injured for a little bit. He wasn't quite on the same pace as last year, but I believe he's right up to like that 63 home run pace again for this season. This card, I know some people don't like. The giant at the batter's box, you know, 6'9", 7'10". Really got to move the PCI up and down, and it's going to cost for more strikeouts alongside that 75 vision, but everything else speaks for itself. I mean, he's got pretty much maxed out power. He's very balanced in the month too, hit lefties and righties both for a 300-plus batting average. Obviously, he was clutch, you know, Aaron Judge. The fielding, I boosted up to 75 reaction. For some reason, they just massacred everybody's fielding this year. I'd like to see if they're going to give a 99 out to Aaron Judge. They'd at least try and make him usable in the outfield. Certainly not in center field with the speed and reaction, but corner outfield, I think he'd play just fine with that arm strength too. He's only got his live series and the captain card, so I think that's even more so pointing to in his favor. I think it's going to be Aaron Judge. I'd be shocked to see come Wednesday if it's anybody else, but let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. What cards that we showed off would you guys be pumped to add to your team, and who do you guys think is going to get the Lightning Diamond in a few days here? Leave a like if you guys did enjoy. Thank you all for watching.